What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Just before we get into the video, don't forget to like or dislike the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment down below. The WWE is often seen as the pinnacle of a wrestler's career, but that hasn't stopped wrestlers from walking out for various reasons. Here are 10 wrestlers who abruptly quit the WWE. Number 10. Sergeant Slaughter. In 1984, Sergeant Slaughter reached unprecedented heights, working as the WWF's patriotic babyface after a successful run as a heel. Following a historic feud with the Iron Sheik, including the legendary boot camp match in Madison Square Garden, the Sarge's WWF career seemed unstoppable. However, Sarge left the WWF abruptly in 1984, heading to, of all places, the American Wrestling Association and the short-lived NWA-AWA co-promotion Pro Wrestling USA. No one is certain why Slaughter left, without some claiming Vince McMahon fought with him over merchandise rights due to Slaughter's involvement with Hasbro's G.I. Joe toys, and others claiming he demanded paid vacation. Either way, Sergeant Slaughter missed out on WWF's national expansion, including WrestleMania. Number 9. Randy Savage. The WWF's new generation saw the company, which had once promoted muscle men such as Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior as their main eventers, turn to smaller wrestlers like Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels, partly because Hogan and Warrior had left, and partly because Vince McMahon was dealing with a steroid trial. Although main eventer Randy Savage was still around, Vince McMahon reportedly wanted him in a position as an announcer, feeling Savage's best days were behind him. Savage felt otherwise and lobbied for a one-year program with Shawn Michaels, offering to help pass the torch to the Heartbreak Kid. When McMahon vetoed the program, Savage looked to WCW, where he signed a lucrative contract and proved he still had several excellent years left in his career. Savage reportedly phoned Vince over the weekend and was gone, leaving Vince to bid Savage goodbye on an episode of Monday Night Raw, an unheard of occurrence at the time. Number 8. Batista. In late 2013, Dave Batista returned to the WWE, working a program with Alberto Del Rio, including a match at 2014's Royal Rumble. However, the WWE universe Batista returned to was much different than the one he'd left, with fans cheering new heroes. One such hero was Daniel Bryan, and when fans saw the WWE was pushing Batista over Bryan, they booed Batista's Royal Rumble match win. The WWF was forced to turn Batista heel as the fans booed him relentlessly, earning him the nickname Bootista. Batista rejoined Triple H and Randy Orton as Evolution to unsuccessfully battle the Shield. He abruptly left the WWE in June of 2014, citing creative differences. Number 7. Lex Luger. A casual conversation with Luger's longtime friend Sting led to one of wrestling's most shocking appearances. Lex Luger was coming off a 2-year contract in the WWF when he told Sting he wasn't under contract. According to Luger's autobiography, Wrestling with the Devil, Sting informed Luger about Eric Bischoff's plans for Monday Night Nitro. Luger planned to stay in the WWF, and Bischoff told him there was no big money deal guaranteed even if he did jump to WCW. However, when Luger felt his WWF contract negotiations were going nowhere, he took the WCW offer, flying to Minneapolis-St. Paul and hiding until his surprise appearance on the debut of Monday Night Nitro. As you can expect, Vinnie Mac was not thrilled by Luger's departure, especially since he didn't even give him notice, which probably explains why Luger never returned following WCW's demise. Number 6. Mick Foley. Mick Foley has walked out on the WWE not once, but twice, leaving the night after 2001's Survivor Series due to creative differences, and leaving again in 2008 for the same reason. Foley reportedly was not shy about voicing the reasons for his departures, but has returned to the company, suggesting Vince McMahon respects someone who is not afraid to speak up to him. Of course, Mick's immense popularity with wrestling fans probably doesn't hurt either. Number 5. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar took the wrestling world by storm, debuting in March 2002 and becoming the youngest man at the time to win the WWE Championship, doing so in just 5 months after his debut. Lesnar enjoyed a continuous stay in the main event, but by 2004, he'd had grown weary of the 2004 schedule and contemplated playing football in the NFL. After spending 50 hours on a plane to wrestle 4 nights in South Africa, Lesnar decided to quit. At WrestleMania 20, Lesnar faced Goldberg, who was also leaving the WWE, in a match that saw both men heavily booed as the fans knew both men were bailing out. In a 2004 interview, Lesnar remarked, "I was at the top of my game in wrestling. I was a 3-time champion, I had pretty good coin in my pocket. What was stopping me? A set of nuts. You either nut up or you don't. So I did. Lesnar would fail at football, eventually returning to the WWE in one of the cushiest deals ever. Number 4. Rey Mysterio. The little man who did big things abruptly left the WWE in 2015 after an incredible run that began in 2002. Rey's WWE tenure included a number of singles and tag team title reigns, including 2 reigns as World Heavyweight Champion and 1 as WWE Champion. In 2014, Rey took time off to heal a wrist injury, but never came back. Behind the scenes, the WWE reportedly extended Rey's WWE contract without his consent, raising Rey's ire and leading to his refusal to return to the company, despite his injuries having healed. He returned to Lucha Libre after his WWE contract expired in February 2015. Number 3. The Ultimate Warrior. One of the WWF's biggest stars and one of its biggest flakes, the WWF should have built a revolving door for him given his frequent and sudden departures. The Warrior left the WWF in 1991 following SummerSlam. He then returned to the WWF in 1992 but left abruptly after reportedly failing a test for performance-enhancing drugs. In 1996, the Warrior returned again, only to be let go for missing dates, but the Warriors claimed that this was due to the recent death of his father. Number 2. Stone Cold Steve Austin. A main event wrestler and a superstar of Steve Austin's caliber has to protect his character from being badly booked. That's the reason why Stone Cold Steve Austin shocked fans and the WWE when he walked out on the company in 2002. Austin was reportedly upset with the WWE's direction for him, including a decision to have him lose clean to Brock Lesnar on an episode of Raw with zero build-up. Austin said and famously walked out. Austin would return, but it would be on his terms. And number 1. CM Punk. Undoubtedly the biggest walkout in wrestling over the last 20 years, CM Punk bailed out on the WWE in January of 2014. Punk, who had surprised some by his massive success in the WWE, decided to leave, citing various reasons, including poor medical care by the WWE, never main eventing WrestleMania, general disdain for his creative future, and money that was owed on royalties. Punk never looked back and pursued an MMA career, as well as other projects like writing comic books. Well guys, there you have it, 10 wrestlers who abruptly quit the WWE. Were there any we forgot? Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.